Your energy is so damn attractive. It is so attractive. It really is. It's just that you haven't tapped into it completely and then allowed other people to experience that really magnetic energy, and that's why you don't have, people chasing you. And you don't really want people to chase you. It's creepy. You really want people to chase you? Imagine you're walking down the street and you're like, you watched a video on having magnetic energy and there's just some dude chasing you. How creepy would that be? Okay? You think you want to be magnetic, but the truth is, you want to be magnetic to people you desire or like. You don't want to be magnetic to everybody. You don't want to be magnetic to, I was thinking in my mind, I've been watching that show Breaking Bad. There's a guy named Tuco. You don't want to be magnetic to Tuco in Breaking Bad, okay? He's like this gangster guy that is very angry and scary, all right? You want to be magnetic to the most authentic version of you and like a reflection of that in your life. And you'll always get a reflection of yourself. That's the funny thing about this. When I've told about the story many times, but anytime I, was in I had that of like a relationship with somebody, like I had a girlfriend during the time I was working 9-to-5 jobs I didn't like. They were also working 9-to-5 jobs I didn't like. When I started doing what I love, guess what? I started meeting women that are also doing what they love. So it's like an equal reflection. But when we talk about magnetic energy, let's talk about some of the components that go into it. Like imagine right now, we're cooking a meal, okay? There's a kitchen here. I'm in Austin right now. I'm checking out Austin. I'm going to actually get a place here. I wish this place is freaking dope. But imagine we had like this cauldron. We're going to use this glass. I didn't think about this before making the video. Otherwise, I would have had like a big salad bowl cauldron. Like the components that go into this cup to make magnetic energy, all right? One of it, and one of the most powerful ones, is non-neediness. Non-neediness. There's a guy named Mark Manson. He has a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And in it, he talks kind of about this, and he's in the book about this too, but non-neediness, not needing, the degree to which you don't need somebody else, or you don't need validation, you don't need approval, is the degree to which you have magnetic energy and you are attractive. So it's one of the main ones. Now, how do you become not needy? Well, a lot of that has to do with getting to the core of what you believe you need from other people and then giving it to yourself. So for a long time, I felt like I really gave a shit what people thought. When I was making these YouTube videos sometimes, I'd be like, I gotta make the videos that make the best views. I gotta search for people's validation and approval. And of course, I'm kind of aware of, some of that, which videos will get, using certain keywords so that this video reaches you. If I were to call this, the cup and the ingredients, it wouldn't do that well. But if I say, the most powerful magnetic AF energy or something like that, you can click on it. You know what I mean? So with it, one of the most important components of having magnetic energy is the degree to which you are not needy. Now, here's the thing, and one of the biggest beliefs I've been learning even about myself, okay? I've learned a lot about detachment over the last couple months. I've let go of so many old patterns that I have, and it's really changed my life. A lot of it is about bringing the energy into my body and feeling in my own frame, and in a way knowing that I don't need anything from the outside in order for me to feel whole and complete. That's allowed me to be more authentic. In a way, it's also a difference in value system. My value system before, the old me, was I valued what people thought more than myself. I didn't have a lot of boundaries, so I felt like, I was giving myself and overextending myself, and it didn't feel authentic. It was to get validation or significance or approval. And when I started to realize how inauthentic that was, that's when a lot began to change, because I almost became mad at my old self. I was like, what the hell am I doing? And then what happened is I woke up out of that, and then I started being more authentic. And what is my value system? What do I enjoy, and how do I prefer to be? And that means, I prefer to be blunt and honest, which means I'm more polarizing. I prefer to be more in my own frame, leading in my life. I realized that growing up, part of my shadow was I had the ex-stepmom situation of someone in my life that was very controlling. And because I didn't have to really lead in that area of my life, in my relationships, I found that I would fall into other people's frame. Well, as I realized I lead in my own life, because that's how I become, disciplined and successful on YouTube, I just got to apply that towards my personal life as well. And as I've done that, it's changed everything. But the most important thing that I wanted to share with you is I've realized that when we're growing up and we have maybe an emotionally unavailable parent or parents, or our needs aren't being met, What happens is one of the most common beliefs that's developed is there's something wrong with me. There's shame and unworthiness. Shame is a part of the identity too. Guilt is different. The vibration of shame and guilt is a higher vibration than shame. Shame says it's a part of my identity that I'm not worthy, that I'm not enough, that I'm broken. So then what happens is we have this underlying notion. We go out, we're dating other people, or we're really putting ourselves out there. And even though we're thinking about ourselves differently, if that emotion of shame is there or self-worthiness is lacked, then other people will feel that off of us. And that's why other people can take advantage of, the boundaries, and that's where the blocks come up. So a big part of having magnetic energy is releasing shame and guilt and also unworthiness. And one of the ways you do that is you look at where that may have developed in your childhood. For me, it was when I was young. It was when my parents were going through a lot. They divorced when I was younger. When parents divorce, a lot of times we may think it's our fault. There's something wrong with me. And we carry that energy. But then what we do is we begin to literally do a meditation or awareness where we have compassion for our parents and we understand that that was their stuff, not ours. Your parents being emotionally unavailable when you were a kid had nothing to do with you. It was their own stuff that maybe they passed on to you. Your dad cheating on your mom cheating on your dad had nothing to do with you. Your parents' divorce had nothing to do with you. You are worthy for being you. And when you start to realize that, you start to release that energy, you then it opens you up to a whole new world. Like in Aladdin. There's like a magical genie. But not the Will Smith genie, the Robin Williams genie. Okay? With Robin Williams. Will Smith is great too, but Robin Williams is the OG Aladdin genie. And the thing that when we talk about, where'd that cup go? What did I do with that cup? When we talk about the ingredients that go into magnetic energy, realize if there is shame in your cup or unworthiness in your cup, you got to pour that out. The way you pour it out is you become aware that it was your parents' stuff. It's not yours. It's like, why is this in my cup? Had nothing to do with me. You pour it out by becoming aware of it, having compassion for your parents, but then choosing to let it go. It served you for a period of time. Maybe the shame served you because then you were like trying to get your needs met by being validated or approved by other people. But now you realize, wait, this isn't actually valuable. This isn't actually a real value system that's authentic. So one of the main parts of this is being aware of that shame, the self-worthiness, because if that underlying frame is there, no matter any technique you use, any thing you do. It's funny, I'm at this Airbnb right now. There's this book here. It's called The Game. All right, it's like a well-known book where there's Neil Strauss. He goes into the pickup industry, and mainly he knows how to pick up chicks, and he documents his experience of it. And in it, there's a lot of different forms of manipulation, like people doing different things to gain attraction. Something called negging, where you kind of put down a girl that you're talking to because then she starts to see you as on this pedestal, or it means that you have high value. That's the psychology, but it's manipulative. And a lot of times what happens is we trying to get people's love, affection, validation, even trying to be magnetic is a form of manipulation because we're trying to get them to come into here. The key to this is living according to our own values and becoming aware of our energy and how we view ourselves. What is our relationship with self? And that's what changes everything. A lot of what I think is even more powerful than any of that stuff is the childhood wound healing, the worthiness, the validation, giving it to yourself, and realizing that magnetic energy, one, yes, it's not needy. It doesn't need because it fills up its own cup. It realizes that it's in its own frame. The non-neediness is something that's externalizing the power, and it's giving the power away. And the way that you go through that is you really let go, and you have to almost do a meditation where you heal your childhood wounds and your relationship with your parents, and realizing that their stuff was their stuff. Their emotional availability was their emotional availability and nothing to do with you. And as you realize that, you start to feel more secure and confident within yourself. And then what you do is you wire in a new pattern by making new choices about who you are and loving yourself. If you completely loved yourself, how would you respond to this person? If you completely loved yourself, how would you show up in the world? What would you be doing for a living? As you start living that lifestyle, your energy will become more magnetic. And it's really about this awareness. And for me, when I became aware of that, that changed everything. I realized I was literally attracting women into my life to replay the same energy dynamics from when I was a kid. I became aware of this couple like a while ago, and it blew my mind. I'm like, wow, no wonder it becomes challenging, because it's the same energy pattern from when I was a kid. And then what I did is I then began to heal that pattern by realizing that's not my stuff. That was theirs. It had nothing to do with me. Then I started to feel more worthy, whole, and complete. And then I had to open up my own like emotional availability, because when people find that they're attracting emotionally unavailable people, it's because they are emotionally unavailable, or the emotional available person they simply aren't attracted to, because it doesn't feel that same, it doesn't feel familiar from childhood. You know, somebody that really loves you may feel like weird. So that's why it's about becoming aware of all this stuff. Now, something that I'm going to be doing for I have this idea of doing this, and we're going to go forward with this 21-day magnetic love challenge. Are you in? If you're in, like this video or comment below, say I'm in. The 21-day magnetic love challenge is going to be going live. I'm going to be going live for 21 days in a row, starting on July 1st until the 21st. And we're going to be going through different phases of learning how to heal your childhood wounds so that you become more magnetic. It's understanding polarity. It's understanding your sense of worthiness, releasing shame. It's about understanding how to be not needy, how to let go of codependent patterns, how to really get into your own frame and establish boundaries, and how to become aware. And there's going to be different, this isn't just like videos, this is like a way for you to become aware and to wire in a more magnetic you. There's going to be a community involved with it as well. If you want to join right now, click the link below or go to magneticlovechallenge.com. So it's www.magneticlovechallenge.com, and you can join right now. I'm opening up enrollment right now, so you can go and click below, join. We're going to be going live, and it's going to be super cool. I think there's going to be thousands of people that join. There's going to be a community that you become a part of, and in 21 days, you will be a more magnetic version of you. So click the link below. Let's join that. There'll be meditations. It'll be a lot of fun, and we'll be going through that process together. So with that being said, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, I'll talk to you on the next one. Peace, much love, and namaste.